Last week we had Joannu or Lainka take you people on UI UX. I think it started with the introductory parts or the foundational parts of UI UX. So what I'll be doing is to just do a recap of maybe what he has done, and then, sorry, I'm trying to share my screen. I'm used to Google Meet a lot, so I don't know how we're going to, I hope this works. So I don't even know if this is sharing. Okay, no, it's not sharing. I'm used to Google Meet a lot. I hope this would work for me. Okay. It's simple.
What do you want to do, Ngozi?
I want to share my screen.
Yeah, there should be a share screen button
Yeah,
underneath.
I can see that, but I'm seeing a lot
Okay.
of like desktop, whiteboard.
Oh, okay. Maybe you should you should first go back to the window you want to use first. I think when you now click on that share button, it should automatically show you that window. I guess. Maybe you try.
Okay, okay. I think it's Chrome. It's Chrome I want to use.
Okay.
So, mhm. Okay. Can you see my screen?
No, ma'am, your screen is not shared.
Your screen is
It's
not
not
shared.
quite strange. And it's telling me here that I'm looking hard to share screen here. It's not on desktop. It's on my. It's on my. Okay. I'm not even seeing. Okay, let me see if it's this one. Please, how are you opening screen? Oh, how are you sharing screen here? Because what I'm seeing here is the desktop view. Okay, I've seen what I'm looking for.
Have you seen it now?
Yes. Okay, just showing me desktop. Okay, so I think
Maybe when you go on your desktop, you can now go
mm,
on this site you want to use.
okay.
You can try that first.
Yeah. Let's see. If this will work. Mm, mm. Okay. Let me try saving that on.
Naomi pẹ̀lú lọ gba glasses ẹ̀ ó ní 50K. Mi ò believe ọ̀rọ̀ dà.
The next person that unmute their mic, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. I've been saying this thing. Each time you join, mute your mic.
Sorry, guys. I guess maybe we would have just done. We'd have just done like a testing face first before we even start time.
Ngozi, you've gotten it earlier.
Oh,
You
I
shared
got
your
it
screen
earlier.
earlier. Maybe you should open up the presentation. Yes, open up your presentation file and share that screen. If it's in your Chrome also, just launch it from Chrome and share the
Yes,
screen that
it's the Chrome I'm looking for.
once you click on share to show you all the screens, all the open tabs, like all your
Yes,
browsers
that's what I'm
are
actually
open.
looking
So look for So look for Chrome and share that.
for. Okay. I think I've seen it now. Thank you. Yeah. Hmm. So this is loading. So you can see my screen now, right? Is it showing now?
Yes, you can see your screen showing now.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm surprised this is giving me headache today. I didn't even see option before. All right, so let me just put it as full screen. Sorry for the delay. So, okay. I have introduced myself. My name is Ngozi. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to be a writer before, but I kind of liked to sketch and all of that. So started out as a teacher, NYC, went to fashion school, became a fashion illustrator. How did I even do that? I started out fully at a garments manufacturing industry, and what I now did was what I did there was to use Adobe Illustrator to sketch out fashion outfits. So when you sketch it out, you label it for the tailors to be able to understand. Then I did graphics design course, picked up another course on business analysis. Then what else? Then I finally picked up course as a UX designer. Currently, I'm freelancing as a UX designer. So freelancing is that I work on multiple projects. So I can finish a project now and another job comes that we have to build another product. And so that's what I do basically for now. So today what we'll be doing is let me try to, so what we'll be doing today is we're going to be doing a recap of the last class. I don't know if we align thoughts on problem statements. So we'll just be doing a recap of that. Then we're going to be doing user research. That's part of our curriculum for the first week. I'm sure we have the curriculum already. Then please, can you hear me so that it's not like I'm talking to myself?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. All right, thank you. So we'll be looking at user research. Then we'll be looking at empathy map. We'll be looking at user persona. Then we'll be doing a question and answer session. So for people that need more clarity.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. So for people that needs clarity after the class, then we can answer questions. So I want us to know that product design or UI UX design is a practical class. So it's not something that you just do the theory part and everybody goes home. So we're going to be practicalizing with our user and problem statements. So we'll be using a Miro board. So that's what we're using for the class. So when we get there, I'm going to tell us what we do. I hope we're using our laptops to learn. How many of us are using our laptop? Let me check chat section. Okay. Okay, I am. Okay, so quite a few. Someone wants to say something? Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask, the laptop, is it for now or because like now I'm connecting with phone, but I have a laptop that I will use afterwards.
Okay. I wanted us to do it now, but if you have a phone, no problem. You're going to have to register you have to sign up for My Robot. How many of us have heard of My Robot before? It's just like where you, it's just like where you do your
No, if you
You
on your videos, if you on your video, they will see it. But now only how will they see?
Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? You're entering our recording.
Omega, I'm going to put you in the waiting room for 30 minutes. Try me. I'm
So
telling
how
you
many
people, if you want to pay 1 million naira, you will pay me money to bring you back to class.
So how many of us have heard of My Robot or have registered before for it? Just sign up for it. I can't hear anyone. Okay, someone
I've
said
not
that.
heard of it before.
Okay, so we're going to try signing up with it. But before then, let's just continue. So we're going to be doing a recap. I know that Olenka taught like a great deal on the fundamentals of UI UX design. And he talked about what is UI design, UX and UI design. And talked about user interface and user experience. Okay. So I'm very sure that we are familiar with it. How many of us want to, like, who can tell us what a UX design is and a UI design? So that I know that I'm talking to people that have like basic foundational knowledge. Let me start looking at names to call.
All right. From the last class, the UI design focuses on the visual elements and interactive components of a product, which actually includes layout, colors, typography, image. While for a UX, it focuses on the overall experience the user has when interacting with a product, which includes the usability, accessibility, information architecture.
Okay, thank you very much, Agatha. Any other person wants to try? Please, it's not only Agatha that is in this class. I like people that are interactive. It's fun when the class is lively. Gladys, let's hear your voice. Hi, Gladys or Gloria.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, UX focuses on the overall experience that a user has when they interact with the product. And it focuses on aspects like usability, accessibility, user research, and information architecture.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Gladys.
Okay.
All right. So I know that we all have basic knowledge now. So we know that UX design is the user experience, which has to do with the way the user feels, the way the user feels when interacting with the product. So, and the UI is all about the beauty of the products. Okay, so they both work hand in hand. So when you're working for startups, you are going to be a UI and UX designer. But when you're working for large organizations, UI department is different from UX department, okay? So the UX has to do the whole job of the research, the design thinking framework, everything, then come to the UI and say, this is the results I came up with, this is the research we've done, and this is the product we are to build. And the UI comes up with aesthetic, beautiful design, the colors, everything blends in properly, the font size, everything becomes on point. So those are like the two major areas as a UI UX designer, basically. So now we're going to be looking at, this is under the UX design. So we're going to be looking at problem statements. So assuming now you are given a task to do, maybe you are given a topic to work on now, and you're going to start, you're going to have to start from somewhere. So when you're given a product, maybe work on an app or a website that helps market women to save their money rather than saving their money in a job or all these roadside job that will come to the market. Sorry, so people that are not Nigerians. So in the markets, There are some women that will come and take money from market women to help them to save it. So assuming you are asked to build a product now that helps you to digitize that aspect of saving, that way of saving money, and you're asked now, okay, this is your project topic, build an app that helps market women. The focus is on market women, of which after we've gotten that target audience, we can now extend it to students. And they tell you to build a product or an app, work on a product that helps you to build a very amazing product that market women can easily save their money without them having to depend on those roadside women that save for them manually. So the first place you're going to be starting from is the problem statement. You're going to be asking yourself, what is actually the problem that I'm trying to solve? Because as a UI UX designer, you are thinking of your users and you're thinking of the problem that you want to solve for them, okay? Every product that somebody builds there's something under it before he builds the product. The person thought of a problem. Before the Uber guy built Uber, the person thought of, it's always difficult for people to get transport. They have to wait at probably the train station, or they have to wait at the bus stop before they get bus to take them to their destination. Or they have to go and get the local hires and go to their stand to go hire bus and cars to be able to take them to their destination. And this was a problem that these people saw. And like, how can we solve this problem? They looked at it and said, if we build a product that is going to help these people, instead of going to look for the car hires before they go where they are going to, or wait at the train station for long hours, let us build a product that from your phone, you can order a car. And when you order that car, the car comes to pick you in front of your home. This is a problem somebody thought of and decided to solve it. So when you're given a problem, when you're given a product to solve or to build, think of, what is it that I am solving? What is this problem I am solving first before you move into Figma? Because I noticed that a lot of people enjoy the Figma aspect. People enjoy just, trying to build, trying to play around with the interface, trying to, build, redesign people's designs, which is amazing. Okay, that's the major task of UI designer. But you have to think as someone that is training to be a UX and UI designer. So always think of your users, always think of the problem that you're trying to solve. Okay, that's why I define problem statements here as problem statements provide a clear description of the user's needs that should be addressed. Okay, there's a need that should be addressed. So there's a user's need that needs to be addressed. So to build a problem statement, you can utilize the 5 Ws framework. Okay, there's a framework in which you can use to create an amazing problem statement. So don't forget, problem statement provide a clear description of the user's need. So when you are building, your mind is thinking of the problem that you are solving. If you don't have a problem statement down, you struggle you get confused in the middle of what you are building, because at that point you don't have definition. But when you know that, how might we build this app that will suit the market women and help them save their money appropriately? You are thinking of market women. You are thinking of, how can I build a simple app that is easy to understand? And so when you are building, the problem statement is always on your head, popping on your head before you continue building, so that you can build an amazing platform. So we are going to be looking at the 5 Ws framework. So we have the who, we have the what, we have the where, we have the when, we have the why, and we have the how. Okay, sorry, I didn't even know Ozana wrote something on the chat. So once in a while, I'll just go to chat to check what you're writing, so that we can still move, we can move fast. We have a lot this night. and we need to move so that we can complete it. So these are the questions we need to ask before we come up with amazing problem statements. Okay. So for the 5 Y's and W, the first one is, who is experiencing the problem? What are the pain points you're trying to solve? So the first one is who, remember, who is experiencing the problem? Second one is what. What are the pain points? Pain points are those issues that are like, it's something that is disturbing your user and they want it to be solved as soon as possible. For instance, they're always at the bus station waiting for long hours, but the pain point is they are always waiting and it's getting them agitated. They just want something easy that they can pick up their phone, order a ride, and it comes to pick them in their house. So pain point is something that just makes them agitated. They're just angry. They're just sad. Just making them uncomfortable. So what are the pain points you're trying to solve? Then where is the user when they are using the product? So when you are trying to build a product, you try to think, where is this user when they're trying to use the product? Market women, and they're in their shade, they're in their markets, they are selling, but they don't want to be giving it to the local users because maybe there has been stories of where the woman got robbed and, you know, all their money just swept away, or stories of where maybe the woman ran away with their money. And so they want something that they can easily be seeing their money grow. So as they keep putting money in the platform, they are seeing how much they are saving every week or every month. So where is the user when they're using the product? They're in their markets. The second, other one is when. When does this problem occur? Every time they have money to save, they have to wait for the woman to come. And if the woman does not come, sometimes they use the money for something else, and the saving has been gone for that week. So when did the problem occur? When they have enough money to save in their hand. So why is this problem important? Why is this problem? You consider the why. Why is this problem important? It's important because it helps them to save money so that they are able to use the money for important things. Maybe pay their kids' school fees, pay for rent, and all of that. Then the H is how. How are users reaching their goals by using this product? How are they reaching their goals by reaching this product? So those are the things we are going to consider, 5 W's and H, when we are talking about problem statements. I hope we understand. Do we understand? Do we have any question? Any question? Yes, but the last one. Okay, the last one is, how are users reaching their goals by using the products? So when they are using the product, how are they reaching their goals? Their goal is to be able to save enough money to probably pay for their rent. How are they now reaching their goals when they're using the products? Okay, so those are like how we are going to come up with amazing problem statements. So when you have maybe when we start giving you your project topics, you're going to start with these 5 W's and H. There are other ways of creating problem statements, but I believe, or I feel that this is like one of the simplest form to be able to come up with amazing problem statements. So we're going to be using my robot, but I think because of time, I want us to cover a lot of things. That's why, but if you have your laptop, you can click on, I think myro.com. Myro.com. That's www.myro.com. If you've not registered before, you can just sign up to Myro. Myro.com. Lois, Myro. That Myro is like a board. It's called Myro board. So it's like a board. So because it's virtual, we're not in an office space where we have to take our pen and use the white marker board to start building our problem statement. We'll be needing a Miro board. So I want us to familiarize. I think that's going to be assignment. So when I meet with us next time, we can now focus more on the practical part. So that will be, I think, on Friday. So just familiarize yourself with Miro board, because we'll be trying our hands on some problems that some of us have in our mind that we want to solve, like some product that we think we can build. So just try and sign up on Miro board, look at it, familiarize yourself with it. Then maybe on Friday, we can now look at how we're going to use it. Then you can also come up with some topics in your head. Maybe something that you have been itching to build, like, I want to build this app that can do this, do that. So you just come up with that. So we're going to start with our problem statements when we come. So that is about problem statements. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is user research. I don't know if you did that last class. I just picked from our curriculum. How many of us have an idea of what a user research is? User research. I can't hear anybody. I can't see anybody.
Please, I think user research is like what you said earlier from the slides.
Yes.
Asking for users' needs and pain points. No, the previous slides, you made mention of pain points. So you ask for users' pain points so that you can design an app or a product that they will enjoy.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to be looking at UX user research. Now, user research, it always focuses on understanding the user's behavior. So before you even start building any new products, you are to first of all understand the user's behavior, the user's needs. Do they actually need this product you are building? Because sometimes there are some products that in your mind, you just like it, and you feel that everyone will like it or it's going to work for everyone. But when you go to do your research, when you conduct research, you go out there, conduct some little interviews, or you send out surveys out there, you just realize it's a nice to have, but it's not like a serious issue. That is, we can do without that product. So that is why research is important, so that you can know if this thing I want to build is actually something that people need, like they are really craving for that. I need this product, it's important to me. So that's what you have to look out for. It focuses on understanding the user's behaviors, the user's needs, and motivation through observation and feedback. So you need to observe if this is what your users actually need. Because there was a product I wanted to work on with my friend. It's a fashion product where we help people to create, there's something we call, if you worked in a very big fashion industry, you know what is called a tech pack. So as an apparel product developer, there's something called a tech pack. And most fashion houses don't use it, except maybe for the very big ones, because it's important, especially when you have large clothes that you want to produce. So tech pack is important because you can easily recreate that product again, that garment again, just by that book. So we wanted to work on it, thinking maybe in Nigeria, people would need it, we crave for it so much, so badly. But by the time we started our research, we had already gone far. We're building, thinking, oh, because we loved it and we felt this is what people will need. By the time we did our research, we realized that people don't even need it. People don't want it. Because I mean, most people just prefer to do their normal hand sketch, maybe use their iPad and just sketch out amazing design and do bespoke garments like just come measure the customer and sew exactly the style. So people don't need it. So that was how we just killed that idea. Maybe later on when we see the need for it, we would go into that again. People don't really need it in this region that we are. Okay, but we realize that abroad, like in European countries, America, and all of that, it's something that is important. In fact, it's there from there. So, but here in Africa, we didn't see that there was a need. Here in Nigeria, we didn't see the need because after doing research and asking and talking to some fashion houses, we just realized the product was just a nice to have. It's not important. So that's why we dropped it. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, hope is not me that just like this product and people don't like it. Okay, so that's why user research is important. When you understand your users, their needs, their motivation, you observe them, you get feedbacks from them, you realize if you are to go ahead with this product or not. Okay, so the goal of user research is to prioritize the user. Prioritize is that you put your users first. Put your users first in whatever you are doing. So that's like the goal of user research. Okay. Sorry, this is supposed to be user research, not UX research. Sorry. So if you are jotting or taking notes, just correct it to user research, not UX research. I was kind of hurrying when I was creating my slides. So the goal of user research is to prioritize the user, put your users first, because even when, and in research, it's not only when you want to begin that you do research. Even when you have started building, still continue to conduct research in case some things have changed out there and you need to put it inside what you are designing. So user research, I thought someone was talking. So user research is a continuous part of a product development life cycle. This is just what I said now. It takes place before you start building. It takes place during the building phase when you're still building. And it takes place after the design has gone live. So you see that in some apps. Please mute. Sorry. Yes, Oluwaseyi Fumi. This is the Miro board, but we have the one online in case you don't want to install it in your laptop or your Google Play. You can also work on your laptop, you can work on it from your Chrome. So when you're using your phone, you can now download it like this. Okay, it's very important and it's collaborative. Sorry, I had to digress. I checked the chat and I saw Oluwaseyi Fumi's comment. So you can collaborate with your group members. So when you are giving group topics, you'll be working in groups, and that Miro board helps you to collaborate. So when you want to come up with problem statements, if you are 10 in a group, all of you are all on the board, and you're working together on that board. Okay. So anyone that has his own ideas, when you're doing your brainstorming section, everyone works on it. That's why Miro board is important. So that's, by the way, sorry, we're not done with this. So I said it takes place after the design.
Excuse me, please.
Okay.
What's the difference between Miro board and then fig jam? Is there any
There's no
significant difference?
no, it's just the name, and it's just the different people that produce a product. So it's just like having different banks. So, but me, I just like Miro board. I feel I don't know, it's just my own preference. So whatever preference you and your group members like, you can pick that and work on it. They are also collaborative. But I feel that Miro board, my own feeling, that they have like a lot of things. So you can easily go to Miro board and see everything you're looking for. Okay. So
Okay.
they have Miro board,
Right,
they have Whimsical, Miro board, Fig Jam, and some other tools like that, board tools like that. Someone say, I can't hear anything. It's your light. I think it's your network. I hope you can hear me now. So user research takes place before, during, and after a design. So that's why you see an app. Before it has something. When you use the app again, maybe after like 1 week or 1 month, you realize there's something that they have put in the app. Like there's this app we use here in Nigeria. It's called PiggyVest. Okay, people that use PiggyVest is used to save money. Okay, for salary earners or business owners. So when you have money, you can easily save. So I've been using PiggyVest like for quite a while. I noticed like last 2 weeks or last week, they just added a feature where you can lock the amount of money you have. You can close it so that people don't open your PiggyVest and see how much you have saved so far. And you can click on open it and you can open to see how much you have. So that's something they did. They did research. And maybe after the research, they realized that this is something that our customers like, our users would like. So let us put it there so that it's easy for them to, instead of going to settings to lock in the amount so that people don't see and going back to settings again to open it. So they had to add that. And I also give this example also in First Bank app now, or I think First Bank or app. There was a feature that was not there before when I was using it. Before, when I want to transfer money to somebody, I have to scroll all the way to Z. Maybe the bank's name is Zenith Bank. I have to scroll all the way down to Zenith Bank to be able to click, and that was tiring. So maybe their research team had to do some research and realize that this is something that our users find is disturbing the users, is stressing them. So let's just put a search button so that they don't have to go all the way down to Z to get Zenith Bank. So what they can do is to just type it on the search and it just comes out. So that is designs that take place after the product has gone live. So research that takes place. So research is a continuous process. Okay. So we're going to be looking at the qualities of a good user researcher. Okay, so the first quality is empathy. You have to be able to be empathetic, to be able to put yourself in the shoes of the users, to be able to understand their feeling or thought when they're in a situation. So when they are standing at the bus stop for a long time, you want to be able to understand how stressful it is. For instance, in Nigeria, there's something we call BRT, and it's a bus that everyone waits for. You have your card that you can log in to be able to clock in to enter the bus. And sometimes the queue at that BRT park is so long, okay? It's so long. And people have to wait because it's quite cheaper. So in that situation, if you are a UI UX designer or you're a UX designer and you want to maybe build like an app where people don't have to wait for so long, maybe a queuing app where people have to go online and click on queue so that they know their numbers on the queue without having to wait for so long. So they can be in their house and they know that, oh, in the queue, I'm number 50. So instead of waiting in the sun till when the bus gets to my turn, I can just be in my house or somewhere close by. Then I'm monitoring it with my app. Then when I'm monitoring it with my app, when it gets to maybe 45 or 40, I know that wherever I am, I'm supposed to start getting to where the park is. So that by the time I get there, it's my turn. So someone that is a UX designer can just think in that light. You have to be creative in your thinking. Someone that is a UX designer, to be empathetic means you going to the park, seeing people waiting in a long queue and just throw like some questions. How do you feel in this situation where you have to wait in a long queue? And the person is like, the stress is too much. The heat is too much. The sun is just scorching and I have to wait here every day. But what can I do now? Because it's cheap, so I have to be here. So you are gathering thoughts. You're putting yourself in their shoes because you two are also in the sun waiting and you understand how inconvenience people are. Okay, so that is putting yourself in the shoes of your users. Ability to understand your users' feelings. The person might not even know that you are building something, but the person has poured out his feelings to you. And so you are taking notes. You already know that this is a must-to-have product. Once I build it, people are going to buy into it. Okay. So another quality is pragmatism, and that is focused on reaching your goals. So as a good user researcher, you are focused on reaching your goal. At the end of the day, this is what I want to achieve. I want to achieve less queue at the park, and people are comfortable and happy at the end of the day. Okay. So another quality of a good user researcher is collaboration, ability to be able to work with range of people, personalities, and work styles. You are able to work with different people. For instance, when you're put in a group now, you know that you are going to be working with different people. You're going to be working with different range of people, and people are going to be collectively thinking, because we are all created differently. We all have our different ideas, personalities, and people are bringing ideas, and people are going to be working together to come up with amazing ideas. So those are the qualities you need to take note of as a user researcher. Okay. So there are two ways by which we can categorize the research method. So the first way, please, do we have questions? If we have questions, you can stop me, please, so that I can know. Questions, or I should continue?
For me, you can continue.
All right. Please, let's not be quiet. In classes like this, please ask questions so that
Can continue.
Okay, so that you can gain a lot. But I think maybe people are putting their questions down anyways. So the first ways by which we can categorize the first method, I said there are two ways by which we can categorize research method. So the first way is based on who conducts this research method. Who is the person that conducts it? So we're going to be looking at, that's where you have like the primary and the secondary research method. The one you conduct yourself and the one that you have to do research to look at. Okay. And the second way is based on the type of data that is collected. So that's where we now have our surveys, and that's where we make use of our Google Forms so that we can put in questions that we want people to answer for us so that it helps us to have an idea of what we are building. So now the first type of research method is the primary research and the secondary research. Okay, remember I said there are two ways we categorize research method. The first one is based on who conducts the research method. And under that, we have the primary and the secondary research. Okay, so the primary research method is the one you do yourself. You conduct interviews yourself. You do observation method yourself. So you can go to, just like I give example of the bus stops. So aside the fact that I am doing interviews, maybe I'm using style to throw a question to people that are waiting in the bus stop to get their feedbacks. That's the interview. Don't think the interview, you have to now be in a room. So tell me, how do you feel? No. If you do that, you might not get the right response you want, because people will be agitated and they'll just be answering you based on, hey, this one that is asking me question, maybe he wants to dash me money or something like that. Okay. So the interview method is just subtle questions you are throwing at the spot, maybe the kind of product you are building. If it's products on the road, it's just something you go throw some questions at people, and you hear their honest response. You hear their honest feedback. Okay. I've been at the park and someone just asked me randomly. And of course, I just answered. I didn't even think of it that maybe this person is doing research. Person just asked me one random question and I didn't even think of it. It's when I got into this field that I knew that it's like this person was actually doing research, but he didn't want to go direct that, I'm conducting research. So the person is just just doing it in such a way that it gets some honest feedback. That feedback is so honest that you realize that that research method is quite important, and the product is important. It's a must to have, not nice to have. Nice to have is just there. Not like if you don't have it, you will be successful. But must to have. By the response they give to you, you know that people need it. And also observation. Because you are there at that part, you see things. You see the way people are uncomfortable and waiting in the sun, and okay. So those are primary research methods. You are the one that is conducting it yourself. Putting down notes. Okay, I spoke to this person, and this person, this is the response he gives to me. So you can go and do the research. Please use that. To enter our recording, please. Thank you. So when you now go to your team, all of you, maybe if you are 10 or 8 in a team, in a group, you people have gone to do your research. By the time you come together on the Miro board and you people are trying to brainstorm together, you say, oh, me, I went to the bus stop, I went to the park, and I realized that when I spoke to 1 or 2 people, this was the response I get. Oh, me, I went to this place, and this was people are coming together and thinking and brainstorming. Okay. You conduct interviews, you also do observation. So the second one is the secondary research method. And is that research method that uses information that somebody else has put together. So for example, I think the olden days, I don't think people sit down to now, please, can you mute? Thank you. So, for example, in journal, I believe we are in the first century. Most people don't sit down to start reading journals, but if you do, kudos to you. So what we do here is internet. So you can go on and do research, go on Google, check on the internet, just read on what somebody else has done in that field. For instance, I was trying to work on a car rental app, and I was doing my research in Nigeria to see if somebody else has done that in Nigeria. And I realized I didn't see like directly that somebody can sit in their house and rent out a car from their house, and the car comes to them, and they can use the car for like 2 days and pay. I didn't see something like that. Okay. And I was trying to do research, so I used the internet. I didn't have to use books or journals. So it's not to say that books and journals are not good, but you know, in today's world, everything is now on the internet. So that's the second research. You go online, you do your research and check for what somebody else has done. Somebody else has you do that. Okay. So the second type of research method is based on the data that is collected. And so we're going to be looking at quantitative research method and qualitative research method. Okay? So quantitative research focuses on data that can be gathered. Ima to Mustafa, please ask the question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So please can you go back to the other slide, the one before this one?
Okay.
So it says that the research method. Oh, okay, I get it now. So the primary research and the secondary research falls under who conducts the research, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought the primary research and the secondary research are the two ways.
No. So we categorize the research method in 2 ways. So the first way is research method, which is primary and secondary research. The second way is now where we have the qualitative and quantitative data collection. So it's different.
Okay, so based on the type of data that's collected, so if I get to, it's the first one is who conducts it, and the second one is the type of data that's collected.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
So let's continue. So the second type of research method is based on the data that is collected. So we have the quantitative research and we have the qualitative research method. So the quantitative research method focuses on data that can be gathered, counted, and measured. Okay. So it answers questions of how many. You realize that when you use your Google form and you put like couple of questions, series of questions that you want people to answer, and you just put it on your maybe your WhatsApp status and you say, please, I'm conducting a research on this. Please help me fill the form. And people are giving you a response. So you can easily go to like the back end of your Google form to check how many people responded and how much of this is, how much of the information did I get? And okay, so it answers questions of how many and how much. So here, what you make use of is your survey. So we have different like Google form. We have, I think we have Survey Monkey. We have different surveys that we can use. Okay. Then we also have the qualitative research. So that one focuses on observation about why and how things happen. So it focuses on a smaller number of users and understands their needs in greater details. So here it says an interview is used here. So it's more like the primary research method. Okay. But this one now you have like a group of users, small number of users. So it's not like the primary research method that you can easily ask randomly and get the kind of response you want. But this one now you have like a group of users that you just want to talk to. Sorry to take your time. I just want to ask like a few questions. And so you're just interviewing them. Maybe like you go to the market and you decide to interview all the market women. Like, please, I just have like a few questions, like maybe 10 questions I want to ask you. Please don't be offended. And so you're taking notes or you're recording so that when you get home, you play it and you're able to get like the information you need. Okay. But the other one is just like randomly ask to get like immediate feedback, immediate response, and you can feel the pain points. Okay. So qualitative research gives you the what, while qualitative research gives you the why. Okay. Why and how things happen. Yes, Jane.
Please, I would like to know how I saw usability studies. I want to know how that one is conducted.
Okay, so we'll go to it. Please, let's not rush.
Oh, okay. Okay, my network was glitching, so I thought you've already passed that.
No, I'm not. I only mistakenly clicked on that. So
Okay.
quantitative research gives you the what, while qualitative research gives you the why. So on qualitative research, you have like a large number of responses. What is that thing you're expecting from the responses you are getting, and you're going to get it? While qualitative research, small number of users. Okay. So these are the second type of research method. Okay. So when you start working on your projects, you're going to be needing quantitative research and also qualitative research. So because you'll be working in teams, you are going to be needing yourselves. Okay. And you're also going to need like a couple of questions you want to throw out there for people to give you responses. So I always emphasize you will need your board where everyone comes together to work on and to brainstorm and come up with ideas together. Okay. So this is where we're talking about. So some common research method. So we have the interview, we have the surveys, we have the usability studies. Okay. So like we talked about interviews, we talked about you collecting in-depth some information from people, okay, in order to get their opinions. So that's interviews. You're trying to get their opinions. You're trying to feel the pain from their voice when you're asking them. Okay. So then the second one is surveys. I told you about surveys. This one is for large number of people. Okay, you throw it out there for large number of people, and everyone is giving you response. Okay, yes, you see that a lot on maybe on LinkedIn. You see people just put link, please help me fill this form. I'm working on a project that has to do with this and that. And you see randomly people just click on it and give their honest feedback. So you can also select the age range of people that you want to answer your questions. Maybe if you're giving a people between the ages of 18 to 35 years or 18 to 25. Just know that you're getting feedback from that range. You will not want to get feedback from an elderly person because those are not your audience that you are building or working on the product for. Okay. So surveys is an activity where many people are asked the same questions in order to understand the different diversity of responses. You're asking the same questions, but you're getting different feedbacks. Okay. So now we'll look at the usability studies that our friend Jen wants us to look at, wants us to touch on. So usability studies is a product that is used to test. So when you start building your product, you have conducted your research, you've done everything, and you started building, you will need your usability studies for the testing phase. So there's something we call low fidelity wireframe. And that low fidelity wireframe, it's not like the real product yet. So it's something that you just build in black and white because you want people to test the product and you want to see if it's easy for them to navigate through the product. Okay, so you can start with using your low fidelity wireframe to give people to test your product for you. Okay, so it's more like it's a technique used for testing. So I just use low fidelity wireframe or prototype as an example. So you can also test with your high fidelity prototype. I know that is sounding like Greek to some people that are not familiar. High fidelity mockup or wire and prototype is where you are building the actual product. It's already the colors, everything are on point, the images, everything are in place. You started building. So at that stage, you need someone to test it to see if it's something they can easily navigate. Okay, you can share the link to people and say, please, help me test this product to see if it's something that something that is easy for you to use. Okay, and so they pick up the link, click on it, and start to test it for you. So I'm currently working on a product. I'm in the testing phase now, where I have to beg people, please, just click on this link. It's not scam. It's me that is working on the product. I'm the one that built it. I just want people to see if the product is something that you can use or something that is usable, something that is you are not confused where the home button is, the home icon is, or where I can click to go back. Okay, and so I think the developer told me we had to get like 20 people. And so I've distributed it. That's like craft a message. Please, I'm working on a product, and it's the testing phase, and we need people to test our product for us. Please help us download the app. And so people download and try to test and see if it's something they can use. Hi, Nimatu. I saw your hands.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, please can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay.
So I have two questions actually. So the first one is so basically, if I got you correctly, the wireframe is the black and white version of the product.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
prototype, the high fidelity prototype is the actual product, but
Yes.
for
How you
testing.
yes, how you want it to look. You can also use the
How you
black
want
and white test. Yes, you can use the black and white to test. So that when they give you feedback that you know that is actually serious, you don't have to start, because in that high fidelity, you have done a lot, you've done a whole lot. So they may give you feedback now, you start deleting some things and you'll be really pained as a designer.
Okay.
But when you use
Okay,
that black
so
and white,
will
you can easily correct it. Sorry, go on.
okay, so would that be do we have something like a low fidelity prototype?
Yes. So there's
Okay.
high fidelity mockup, low fidelity mockup, high fidelity prototype, low fidelity prototype. So
So
in
is a
that
mock
black and white, it can also be tested because you have prototyped it, you made it interactive. So even with black and
okay.
white, people can easily move from one screen to the other.
Okay, so what would be what's the difference between the wireframe and then the prototype? Because if I got it correctly, the wireframe is the black and white, but then the prototype is like the actual product. It will have colors and everything. But then you
Okay.
said again that the low fidelity prototype will have, you can do it like it can be black and white. So I'm
Yeah.
quite confused.
So that wireframe is what now results to your prototype. So I would advise you wait, let's get there so that you
All
don't
right,
get,
sure.
because we
Okay,
have
so
it's a whole topic. We have a whole topic. We even do it on Figma. So you're going to see it. So when you have a
all right.
wireframe, or I call it mockup, black and white, you can also prototype it and make it interactive. So that when people check it out and they say, oh, I think I have issues doing this, doing that, it's easier for you to correct it before you start putting in a lot of features, colors, image, and someone will now tell you that this image or colors is confusing me and you have to delete it. You really be pained. So aside testing when the product is, aside testing when you have put all those colors, you also need to test when you are still building with black and white. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I got it. So for the second question, for the interviews and the surveys, can you ask anybody, an average person, to is the target an average person, or you can use, for instance, the target audience? But I'm just asking, will it be realistic enough to use an average person as compared to probably a target audience? And what will be the criteria for selecting the people for the interview and the surveys?
Okay. So the criteria is thinking of your target audience. So when you have target audience in mind, you already have your problem statement already. You've done your research. Okay, you're seeing the research phase and you have your target audience. So you're building a product probably for age range 18 to 25, probably university students, or age range 18 to 45, maybe market women. Okay. The criteria for which you're going to ask in an interview or do an interview is your target audience. So you're not going to be interviewing me that I'm not a market woman. I might not relate to what you're saying because probably I've used like technical tools, more technical tools. So I know a lot about savings and products. So you'll not be interviewing me that knows a lot. You'll be interviewing those set of people that you are building for. So that's the criteria for which you can conduct your interviews. Those people, those target audience. Then your survey also, you have to also, you will not just randomly throw out your surveys to just anyhow people. It has to be people that are within your target audience so that you can get the actual feedback you're looking for. Because if you go and ask people that are not in your target audience, they'll just give you a round. I did it one time, and the response I got, I was like, this is not what I'm looking for. Because I just threw out the surveys to just anybody. Anybody can answer. Okay, so you have to also consider your target audience because at the end of the day, there are people that are going to use your products. If you go and ask a random person that is not even interested in your product, the person will give you his own feedback based on what he knows. But when you now build the products, your main target audience, the main people that you're building for, will say, yeah, I don't understand this thing. No. This thing is too complex for us. Assuming you have gone to ask them, you would have known what to do and their level, come down to their level. So that's the criteria for you to conduct your interview and service. I hope that's clear.
Yes, please. It is. Thank you.
I think I saw another hand up. I saw 2 hands, yours and someone else.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Hi, Jen.
Please, I wanted to know, is there any tool that can be used for the usability testing studies, or you can just go to the people you design that products for, and then you just observe them for them to use the product?
So we have lookback.com. Lookback.com. You can try it, you can check it out and just play around it. I don't have
Post that name on what? Can you post the name so that I'll see the
all right, I'll type it. Lookback.com. Okay. So you can try looking it out and just play around with it. So when the actual time comes, you can decide to use it if you want, or you can just create your prototype and look for someone to just give to help you do it. Check out.
But aside the tools, can you also go to the people physically, like 1 or 2 people?
Yes. And tell them, just check this app for me for something you can. So you can do that. So I've seen another hand. You're welcome. I've seen another hand. Oh, who is that?
It's me, Nimatu.
Okay, I think as Nimatu spoken, I think she's going to speak.
Yeah, I have another question.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes. So my question is, are there any biases when it comes to the research? For instance, the interviews. For instance, if you are physically present, would there be any form of bias? So you won't get the actual results.
Yes, yes. So when I learned UX design, I started with UX design before I moved to UI UX. So they taught us about biases. So sometimes you can be biased. Maybe a certain people, this is how they behave. So this is how their response should be. Meanwhile, it might be wrong. Another thing again is that when you give maybe somebody a product to test for you, because you are there, the person might, because he doesn't want to offend you, maybe she's your friend or your family member. The product is good now. It's good though. I like it. But in his mind, I don't understand what I'm doing. So they may be biased. So sometimes you might not want to give your family member that loves you so much that will not tell you the truth. You can decide to give a neutral person that will be blunt and honest to you. Okay? And also when you are there, when the person is doing it, it's another thing again. The person might be looking at you and he doesn't want to be really honest. But when you're not there, you just give the person, please help me conduct this, do this test for me. Just test this product for me. But please, can you record while you're testing? So the person is recording and you are hearing the person's pain points. Like, what is all this? Well, this app is hard. I can't even go to home. Oh my God. Wabeg, I need to give Nima to her app back. I don't understand. So by the time the person sends the recording to you, you're able to hear the pain in the person's voice. And you're able to understand that, oh, okay, this is where the person is facing some challenge. You can even call the person up. So I noticed you were complaining of this and that. Okay. So from there, you're able to get honest feedback. So some bias may be there. Number one, you might have like a bias about a particular group of people. And you just feel that this person cannot know it. This person cannot understand this thing. Okay. So that's why you have to do it with bias. Keep an open mind. so that you can get the result that you want. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I think we should continue. So we're going to be looking at user persona. User persona. How many of us have heard of it? User persona. Okay. So I saw, okay, there's a bank. Let me not give that example. But let me just go into the definition of user persona. So user personas are fictional users whose goals and characteristics represent the need of a larger group of users. So it can help us identify patterns of behaviors in user. So when you're building a product, okay, lovely she has heard. So when you're building a product, you have like a name of a user in your head. So maybe my user, and that user is not that the person is real life, it's just a fictional user. So maybe I want to give the user Nike or Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is my user, and I want to create a persona for that user because now I am building a product. I have come up with a problem statement, and Elizabeth is the one that has the problem. Elizabeth is facing this challenge. Elizabeth is always queuing to get a bus, and she's always being hit by the sun, and she's uncomfortable, and she's really tired and stressed, and all of that. So I'm using Elizabeth to represent the number of Elizabeth out there, the number of people out there that are also going through the same issues that Elizabeth is going through. Okay, so that's just like user persona. And that user persona helps you to always think of that user a lot. Because when you put a name to the user, you always know that, there's an Elizabeth somewhere that needs this product. We really need to help Elizabeth. There's no Elizabeth anywhere, but she's a fictional character that represents the larger audience that you are building for, the larger group of people that you are building for. Okay, so we like to give it a name so that when you are building, you are thinking of Elizabeth, and you're going to give her a name, you're going to give her age, you're going to give her educational background, hometown, family. Maybe Elizabeth is a mother of two. She has two children, and this and that. Or Elizabeth is a mother of four, and they are living in so and so apartment. So she needs to have an app that helps her save money if she's a market woman. You give Elizabeth's age. Oh, she's a 40-year-old market woman that is selling. Oh, education. Elizabeth is not really literate. She just probably finished primary education and she jumped into selling and all of that. And you talk about Elizabeth's occupation. Oh, she's a petty trader. She sells in the market. You put an image to Elizabeth so that when you are building, your mind is going to Elizabeth and know that, Elizabeth needs this product. Even though you know that there's no Elizabeth existing, but you know that there are a group of people that has the same problem that Elizabeth is facing that you need to build for. Okay, I hope it's clear. That's like as much as I can make it clear and practicalize it for it to be clear. Okay, so you're going to talk about the goals that Elizabeth wants to achieve. At the end of the day, Elizabeth wants to be able to save money to pay her rent, to pay her children's school fees. You put it there. Frustration. What is this frustration that Elizabeth is facing? Every time she saves money, the woman that is collecting money, either she uses the money to pay for her hospital bill or she runs away with the money. So there are a lot of frustration that Elizabeth is facing. Then you also give a brief story or scenario that conveys the person's user journey. You talk about the person's user journey and what the person is facing while before the product is even built. You highlight their goals, you highlight their frustration, and other relevant context. So Elizabeth is someone that just represents a larger group of people that you're building for. Okay, larger group of users. Remember, as a UI UX designer, you're always thinking of your users, trying to make your users comfortable, trying to make your users happy at the end and fulfilled. That at the end of the day, this is what I was able to solve for the users, and they are happy at the end of the day. For instance, we are the users of PiggyVest, so we are able to save our money. And every time we scroll and check our app, we see how much we saved and we're happy. So at the end of the day, that's what they were able to create for us. Okay. Is that clear? Okay, so this is a sample of, this person is Tina. Tina is a 32-year-old marketing professional. She has a senior marketing executive. So she has a BSc in marketing. She's from Edo State, Uromi. She's single. And now what is her relevant personal quote that captures the person's attitude and personality? I wish I can easily reserve a seat to watch a movie at the theater using my phone, because the cinema is always filled up on weekends and there's no efficient seat reservation app in the theater I know. So she needs a seat reservation app. She wishes she can easily reserve a seat, but you have to go to the cinema to be able to get a seat, pay for your app. But she wants to stay on her phone and just reserve a seat so that she can easily walk up anytime when the movie is about to show to enter without maybe queuing, especially when the movie is uninteresting. Okay, so her goal is to be able to easily reserve a seat at the movie theater for myself without having to struggle getting a spot, especially on weekends when everyone is at home. So her frustration is annoying when I have to drive down to the theater and discover that my favorite spot is filled up and I have to manage someplace else. Okay, so that's her frustration. And we now talk about her brief story and her user journey and all of that. So Tina is a student and a working class professional. She enjoys spending her weekend at the movie theater due to her busy schedule during the week. So she just wants to unwind in the theater during weekends. So the movie theater she knows of doesn't have an efficient and effective and efficient seat reservation app that she can reserve a spot for herself. So most times, she either sits in an inconvenient spot or even loses out on her movies. So this is her story, her journey, and her goals, her frustration, and her relevant context. So this is just about user persona. I don't know if you have questions regarding that. Let me check our chat box. So I see some people are laughing here. Oh, Tina is real in Ghana. Okay. So you see that some people have lots of things to build by the time you are done with this course. Okay. I think I saw Jen's hands up. Hi, Jen.
No,
It's
ma'am.
Nima too.
My hand is not up.
Okay. Okay. It's Nima.
Are the the frustrations the same as the pain point, but they're different?
Yes. Frustration is the
Okay.
pain. Frustration is normally pain points. You are just angry, you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking at empathy map. So these things we are teaching is the role, like assuming now you have a job in a very big firm, maybe Google or these very top companies, you know, that have different departments for UX and UI designers. So as a UX designer, this is part of what you are going to be doing. You'll be doing a lot of research work. You'll be doing a lot of interviews, you know, traveling to different places to get feedback from people. It can be virtual, it can be physical. So you can travel to an interior village to just get some information so that when you are building, you are fathoming those people in the village that are going to be using your products. So these are the job of a UX designer. So some people enjoy this part of designing. Like, I just like talking to people. I like making people happy at the end of the day when I'm done with my products. Okay, so these are like the roles of a UX designer. It's user experience. So that at the end of the day, the user has an amazing experience using your app. Okay, So I hope it's not boring, because I know most people like UI design a lot. When you go to Figma, and I started to, I was so interested in, let me just be designing, putting colors and all of that. But you have to also know the basics, so that even when you go for job interviews, maybe interviews for UI UX design, by the time they ask you to create a case study, you are going to document your journey before this product was achieved. And they tell you, okay, build this, maybe the question is build this app for us and all of that. Let us walk us through your journey in building this product. And you start with, oh, we conducted a research. My team and I worked in a team of UX designers, and we conducted a research. We went to this. By the time you are documenting your journey, and at the end of the day, they see your products, the interviewer or the employers are wowed that, okay, this person really understands the process of UX and UI design. So it's not just running into Figma. When they now ask you, did you do research before even starting out this product? And you're like, this one is research. You just designed, and design is fine. The color is amazing. That's not what they're asking. What is the process? How did you start? You started with creating a problem statement. You started with, before your problem statement, remember your design thinking framework. I'm sure you did it in the last class. Your design thinking framework, you started with your empathy stage. You try to put yourself in the shoes of the users. By the time you do your empathy stage, you now go down to your, I think it's define. Let me be sure that I don't mix it up. Did I even put it here? I didn't put it here. So we're almost done. So you start with your, when you do your empathy, you start with your ideate. I think ideation. Then from there you define. From your define, you brainstorm or ideate here. Then you now prototype, then you now test. By the time you walk your employers or your interviewers or recruiters through the process by which you created this amazing product, they are wowed, and they're like, wow, this is great job. So they are not just interested in how beautiful your design is most of the time, except maybe you're applying for a role of a UI designer. It's just how beautiful your product is, how you're able to navigate the platform, how you're able to put amazing features, put animation, put a lot of your prototype is on point, so that when people are moving from one screen to the other, it's great. Except that's when they will ask you questions concerning the colors and how you're able to come up with these colors and why you think these colors are effective in this design. Okay, but when you're going to interview as a UX UI designer, you know that you need to walk your recruiters through the process by which you created a product. So I'm only saying this so that you don't get bored, because I think it's explanatory and it's interesting. Okay. So empathy map, we're going to be looking at empathy map. So empathy map is a collaborative tool teams can use to gain a deeper insight into their customers. Okay, so in MyRobot, we also have an empathy map template that you can use when you're in your team and maybe when you're working on your projects. Okay, so the first one is the say. So the user is in the middle. That's the main person you are focused on. We're trying to think of what is my user saying. Okay, so there's a delivery app I was working on, so that's why I just put it. I wish food delivery apps provided more accurate time estimates. Okay, more time estimates where I can easily order my food and all of that. Okay, what are they saying? What do you think? What are your users saying? So you're trying to gain deeper insight into what your customers or your users are saying. Now, what is your user doing? Okay, what is your user doing? Is he frustrated? Is he trying to refresh the page multiple times, or trying to read something that you in the product And while trying to read it, it's not clear because maybe the font size you use is very small. And at that place, you needed to put it to be bold so that your user see it clearly. Okay. Another thing again is, what is your user thinking? Is the user annoying picking the app, and this thing is confusing. I'm seeing home screen here and I'm seeing another home screen. So which one am I clicking on? You know, are they annoyed or are they finding it difficult using your products? Another thing is also feel. In response to how do you feel when you're trying to place an order? So how is the user feeling when they're trying to interact with your products? Okay. So how do you feel when you're trying to place an order? So you're trying to get how they feel. So it's just like you going to a park and you see people in the bus stop and they're frustrated because of the sun and the bus is not coming on time and they have to queue, long queue, and all of that. And you just try to ask, so how do you feel staying in the bus stop for this long? And the person is giving you serious responses. Okay, so you're trying to think. Empathy map helps you to gain deeper insights into what your customer sees, what your customer does, what your customer thinks, and what your customer feels. Okay, so that's empathy map. So you'll be needing all this when you are given a project topic and you have to work in a team. So by then you realize that you need to go back to problem statement. Oh, how did she teach us how to do problem statements? You'll be needing it a lot. Okay, so I want us to take this class seriously before we now go into actual designing on Figma, and some people now forget these ones. So that's why we always start with this UX design, so that this is like a foundation. It sinks. You know that even while I'm doing amazing color design, I'm thinking a lot about the research I have made, the problem statement I have gathered along the line, the research I have made, okay, I've made getting interviewing my user and my target audience, sending out surveys, at the end of the day, coming up with problem statements. Okay, you are thinking of that even when you are building. Okay, so these are important. So what is a pain point? So I was trying to, I talked about it. So pain points are any UX issues, user experience issues that frustrates the user and blocks the user from getting what they need. Okay, so you can see the image here. Person is crying. Person is just frustrated. Okay, so I think we'll be getting questions. Question times. I know most people were asking questions during the teaching, so let's look at people that have questions for me, because you soon be getting your project topics and you'll be paired in groups, and I'm sure you need questions. You need to ask some questions before you even start. So question time. So let me stop sharing so that I can see people. I'm not seeing anybody. Let me just, let me see people, please. I know that some people are not sharing their screen because it's late. Yeah, please, I want to see. Okay, hi Gladys. You can see your hand. So
Hi, I wanted to ask if you could please clarify that definition of the pain points. I've not quite gotten it.
okay. So I said a pain point are any US issues that frustrate the users. So when your users are frustrated, okay?
Yes.
When they are frustrated, maybe, let me give an example. So I told you I've been using an example of people waiting at the bus station for bus for a long time. And it takes a long time before one bus arrives. And so they have to wait in the sun. They are stressed. But because it's cheaper, they have to wait nevertheless. So people are just frustrated and they'll just go and enter like the public transport so that it's faster. They don't have to wait. So the pain point here is something that is frustrating users. That waiting is frustrating. Why can't I just get to the station and just see bus and enter immediately? Why do I have to wait for long? So that's the frustration that they are going through. Okay, so I don't know if it's clear.
Yes, no, it's clear. Thank you.
So any other question? Since we still have like few time, I think maybe we can just quickly look at my robot. I know that people will say, she's talking about my robot too much. So I have my own here open. Pardon my screen. I have a lot of tabs open. Because I'm working on a lot of projects. Not a lot, maybe like for now too. So even on your Miro board, you can come up with a wireframe. Like I was trying to build an app and I just had to start here. I had to start here first before
Hello.
Yes, please. I can hear you. Please, Ma, are we going to get the PDF file for the class, today's class? Hey, okay. I'll try and get that for you. So you can also start with your Miro board. You can, maybe you have a product, you are trying to work with your team. You can see that there's a sample. I had to get this sample from the templates. So this is the template here. So I just picked up, maybe I'm looking for wireframe.
Okay, I want to find out.
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Hello, ma.
Yes, please, you can go on. Go ahead, I can hear you. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
You can see the Miro board, right?
Yes.
I'm just not sure. So this is what the Miro board, okay, before I put this is what it will normally look like. So you can be working with your team here on it. I had to zoom in. So this is what it normally looks like. So when you come together as a team, you're on the board each, and you can come here. You can come here and share the link to this board. You can name the board first. When you name the board, what can I name it now? Maybe app. Maybe my app, Orange's app. In this app, and I save it here. So I can come here and enter the emails of members of my team that I want us to work together. And I click here, enter their email. So they're going to get it in their email and they'll use the link that will be sent to their email to join you on this board. Okay. Or you can also copy the link like this and paste it, and anyone can have access to it. Okay. So these days they are creating tools or apps that are collaborative in nature because of the era of remote work now. So you can be working here in Nigeria and your team members are in Kenya, or your team members are in South Africa. So you need to have a collaborative tool to be able to work. Hi, Oluwaseun.
Okay, my question is, can you have more than a team on the mirror board? On the mirror board, rather.
You can have many people that can come here. Okay.
So how can I separate those teams?
Okay, more than a team, no.
Yeah.
Please, it's just for your team. You create your own board. You name it. Maybe if it's a team Diamond, you can give it, maybe you put it here. This is for Team Diamond. And you come and share only for your team members because you are working on a project together. Another team will go and create their own and work together on it. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
hello, ma, good evening.
Yes, hi.
Hello, good evening. Is this Miro board like an app, just like Figma that we use in UI UX design?
Yes, it's an app that you use. So this one is online. So if you're trying to use it on your phone, I think you have to download it. Then you see anything that is you see it. It's just on a smaller screen. So it's best when people are working together, you're using your laptop so that maybe people are trying to just sharp you're trying to create an app like this. So this is the black and white I'm talking about. But I
Okay,
think
the low
yes, this one
okay, prototype.
yes. So this is the black and white. You're not just seeing the actual thing. But when you're trying to do the real thing, you put your colors, you put everything. In fact, this one is even more detailed. The black and white that I know of, or that if you're a UX designer, you're going to start with, for images will have a box and a line like X in between it to show that this is an image. And a text will not have actual text, it will be lines. So when you see lines, when you see a box and X inside, you know that that's an image. When you see lines, you know that that's a text. But you're going to learn this as time goes on. I have a whole slide on that. So I just, as we proceed in learnings, we're going to see that. So you can come here, work with your team. By the time you've signed up, so you have to sign up so that you can have access to it. Then we have different templates. Okay, that's why I like it, because we have template for research and design. It gives you option of maybe the wireframe of some designs that you can use. It has different things, even things that you might not even use. So look at the empathy map now. Let's preview it. I don't want to open it. Okay. I think we can open it now. It's just appear in this space. Okay. Where is it? It's not uploaded. Okay. Look at the empathy map here. So you see, this is the user. The user here is Lydia. Lydia is the user persona. Okay, they gave her Lydia. Then this is it's about what she says, what she thinks, what she feels, and what she does. So if you look at what she says, you see there's no enough time in a day. We don't always have time for a sit-down meal. You know, she's frustrated. She's saying what she thinks. Then what is she thinking? Oh, I'm out of quick meals ideas. How can I think of food now? God. Maybe she needs to order food and maybe she doesn't have enough time in a day to order or something. Then what is she doing? So what she does, she comes home from work and she heats up something in the microwave. That's what she does. That's what she will normally do. And feels what she feeling. She feels exhausted. Okay. So look at the goals here. What is her goal? She works and take care of. She wants to work and take care of the household. So that's her goal. She doesn't want to be just not relevant. Okay. So at the end of the day, she wants to work and take care of the household. So even when her work is stressful, she wants to also work and take care of the household. So then her pain point, not having enough time to do it all. She doesn't have enough time to take care of her household. Okay. So look at it. What is her demographics? She's a woman. She lives in the United States. She's age is 35 to 45. So she's between that age range, 35 to 45. And she's a working mom. Okay, so maybe they are building an app where you can easily order food or something. Okay, so you see why I like my robot. It just helps you with enough templates. Enough templates. Okay. So this is where you can get your templates. So whatever you're looking for, you get your templates here. Okay. All the templates. So we have the flow charts. Maybe you want to document even your customer journey map, what your customer is doing and all of that. Your flow charts is also here. A lot of things. Okay. All right. So the next one here is the text. You can use your text to write things here. Okay. Let's increase the text from here. It's something that you just play around with. You understand it. It's so easy. Okay. So this one is your sticky notes. You know how in your board, your whiteboard, you have sticky notes. When you come up with a very amazing idea, you stick your notes and you come up with it. Maybe people are trying to come up with amazing problem statements. Okay, and you just start with maybe how might we design, or how might we solve, or how might we help. Sorry. Help market women see their money without losing it. So this is like one thing you're trying to build. This from here, from the sticky notes, you can also come up with amazing problem statements. So everyone in the team would have to participate, come up with great problem statements. Then when you come up with problems, you now come together and pick from everybody's ideas. You come up with one amazing problem that you're going to run with before your app is being built or your website is being built. Okay, so these ones are the shapes. You can use all these ones for when you're creating your flow charts. And it moves from one place to another and all of that. And this one is the connection lines. So you can decide that you want your line to be like this and all of that. So then this is the pen tool. Okay, and helps you to write. Don't use this. Then this is your eraser. Just erase it over and all of that. So then your comments. So when you're working with a team and you want to talk to, maybe Jen is trying to talk to Nimatu and trying to tell her, oh, I thought of something now. By the time you type it, you send it, Nimatu sees it on the sheet here. Maybe she just click on it and you now say, oh, I think we should change it to blue. I think this thing that we wrote here is not correct. She also replies, mentions your name and replies. Okay. So it's just collaborative in case you have like a team that people are not all, because most of the time, if you don't get a job in Nigeria here or in your country of interest, and maybe you're working for a company outside your country, you need to collaborate a lot and talk to your colleagues at work. Okay, so that's the essence of collaborating the Swift tools. Even in Figma, we also collaborate and design amazing design, create an amazing design. Okay, so that's just about the Miro board. I just want us to have it in mind. You can use other tools that you're comfortable with. Like I said, there's Whimsical, there's FigJam. So anyone that you're comfortable with, you can use it. But the thing we want to achieve here is that people work together, you brainstorm together, and come up with great problem statement that you're going to work with. So that even when you are building, you know that you all did it together. And it's not just one person that did it. Okay. So question. Yes, now I can see everyone in class. So has today's class been helpful? Is it looking like Greek? Is it difficult? Is it something like yes? Yes, happiness. I talked about whimsical, yes. They look alike. So anyone that you're comfortable with, that you feel is something I can use, then I think it's fine. Which one is ClickUp? Well, I don't think I've heard of ClickUp before. Please, let's not be quiet too. Me, I've been talking for long. I didn't even drink water. But hope we understand this class. This is something that you feel that let's do this. I think I'm cut out for being a product designer, being a UI UX designer. Let's do this. This is something like that. Okay, the class has been informative. Thank you. Because sometimes when you attend an introductory class, you have to ask yourself a question like, are you sure I like this course? Are you sure this is my calling in life? Remember when we are learning, my friends will say, I'm sure this is not my calling. So you have to ask yourself that question. Now that you've taken classes last week and this week, so you ask yourself, are you sure I want to be a UI UX designer? Or maybe I should just go to cybersecurity? Or I think let's do this. I'll get this. This is easy. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I don't know if it's Opeyemi that is here, so that Opeoluwa that is here, so that I can hand over to her. Maybe she has something to say. Because I'm done. There's no questions. I gave time for questions, but I don't think. Okay, well understood. All right. All right. Hi, Tech It girls. Do you have anything to say? Or maybe your class prefect. Does she have anything to say? Gladys, do you have anything to tell your classmates? Thank you, Oladili. Well understood. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right. So take it, girls, I'm done. We have 4 more minutes. Any question? So let's be looking at ourselves. Then we're looking at comment section. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you're done, you can exit if you want to, or except maybe they have something else to tell you. All right.